Hey guys, fishing stuff. Today we're going over everything you need to know about dragon weights. When to use them, why to use them, what they're made out of, what you should make them out of, everything. So stick around. I've talked about dragon weights before on many videos and have made at least 4 DIYs over the years. And today I want to make a video pointing out some key features of dragon weights that you might want to consider because it might help you pick out the right dragon weight. I'm just saying. Number 1, when and why we use dragon weights. We use dragon weights so we can move while we're fishing. Being able to move while you're fishing allows you to cover more ground, and it's very productive. And most people call it trolling. By the way, I got a video that talks about trolling and how to use planer boards. Go check it out if you need to. And you can troll with any type of fishing. Dragon weights became popular in catfishing with the Santee rig, which originated in South Carolina at Santee. But dragon weights started with steelhead fishing. That's where the idea come from for the dragon weight. The only difference is you adjust your weight to what you're fishing for. Meaning steelhead fishermen would use less weight most likely than catfish. You know what I'm saying. And actually dragon weights are a lot like drop shots in bass fishing. But it's designed to be dragged across the bottom of a lake or river without getting hung up on stuff. Number 2, when dragging with dragon weights, you're going to need something to keep your hook up off the bottom of the lake or river. Now, if you're using a jig like a steelhead fisherman, then your jig needs to be buoyant. Did you know they make buoyant jigs? They even make worms that float. That's pretty awesome. Anyway, if you're using live bait like you would for catfishing, you're going to need something on your line to hold your hook up, which most people use a peg float or a demon dragon or something like that. I actually made a video about peg floats and there's a lot of information in there, and you would think peg floats would be a simple subject, but it's kind of a cool video because I even did a test to see what each float holds up. It holds up 3 of them. But still, you're going to need something to hold that hook up because the weight's designed not to get hung up. The hook's not. Every time I make a video here, it turns out awesome.
Hey, I done told you to stay out of my pool.
I gotta go.
Riley, Kill, get your tail back here.
That right there never gets old. It never gets old. Number 3, the weight itself. The most used material for dragon weights is lead. You can use steel for dragon weights, and some people do, such as BBs. The only thing is, if you're going to use steel for dragon weights, make sure your dragon weight's sealed up and water can't get inside of it because the steel will rust. There is a downside to using steel, in my opinion, because your weight's going to have to be twice as big to get the same amount of weight as lead has. Cause everybody knows lead weighs more than steel, people. Okay? Another design I see in dragon weights lately is making the dragon weight buoyant. And I've did videos about weights like that.
So it's a PVC vinyl tubing.
Okay.
Inside of it, it's got PVC vinyl dowel rods. And then it's all glued together, but melted together, so it's pretty much welded together. So if you take a 2 ounce and you put it in a large tubing, this is a medium, but if you put it in a large tubing, it'll stand straight up and down like this. So you can pretty much build any drift weight on the market. Yeah. With these, just you can run 2, 3, or 4 ounce in those, and it'll lay flat, more traditional. You can play around with them. The large and the 3 ounce is my go-to.
And the reason people do that is so the front of the weight will stand up and go over structure easier. And there's nothing wrong with those weights. But something you need to consider if using a buoyant dragon weight is your peg float, because the peg float's buoyant too. And I did a video about peg floats, like I said, and something I learned on that video is peg floats pick up some of the dragon weight too. So if you got a buoyant dragon weight and you got 3 ounces of lead inside of it, then it's not really going to weigh 3 ounces because of the buoyancy. So let's just say you knocked off an ounce of weight off of it. Now it's a 2 ounce weight. And if you use a big peg float like this one, with this peg float right here, it took almost 3 ounces to sink it. 7 weights, that's pretty impressive. That thing is holding up 2 ounces. Oh my goodness. 10 1/4 ounce weights. People, it's still up. Can you believe that? It's still up. It finally went down with 2 3/4 ounces. See, that's why I run these tests. You know what I just found out? I just found out I ain't making my slinky weights heavy enough. So actually, that dragon weight wouldn't be heavy enough. It's actually amazing how much weight some of those peg floats can hold up. The only reason I'm even bringing this up is because on my test with the peg floats, I use solid lead as my weight. And I got a video on how you can make them too. But this being solid lead with no flotation, almost every peg float picked this up and made it ride standing up. And if you've seen it when I was playing around with the jaws hook, look people, most people cannot handle the way I fish. I told you before, I use a man-size hook because I catch big fish. And if you use a man-size hook, then you're gonna need a man-size peg float. I'm just saying, I had to use a buoy to hold that hook up. And using this buoy to hold that hook up, I had to use 8 or 10 of these sinkers, which are 2 ounces a piece. And using that many of them tied together, it still stood up. And I imagine most people probably didn't notice that. But the whole point is, when picking out a dragon weight and picking out the weight of your dragon weight, make sure you consider the peg float you're gonna be using because it does affect how the dragon weight works. I hope all that makes sense. And if it don't, go watch that peg float video and maybe it'll make sense. Number 4, making your own dragon weights versus buying them. Some people don't really do DIYs and they'd rather buy things, and that's cool. And I even got people that watches my channel, which is a DIY channel, just because they like it and they don't make nothing. And that's even cooler. Me personally, I prefer making my dragon weights because it's a lot cheaper. But occasionally a fishing trip will come up and I don't have any, or I have a tournament and I'm really busy, so I go to the store and I buy me some. If you're not in a hurry, it's going to be cheaper to make them yourself. But if you have time and you don't want to make it, order them online because there's a big selection of them out there. But there's a lot of stores that carry dragon weights, and if I'm in a hurry, I go to one of those stores. The people that make and sell dragon weights are small businesses, and I like supporting small business. And if you go to the store to buy some, support your little mom and pop store in your location. And this ain't no ad, but I got one near me that I really like. They're good people and they carry about anything you want. Just saying. Y'all got everything, don't you?
We try to. We try to please most all of our fishermen.
Number 5. The fastest weights to make. At one time, paracord dragon weights were my favorite weight, hands down. And actually, I still like them a lot. But they're time consuming when you make them. And what I use most of the time now are these solid core weights because they're easy and they're fast to make. And all you need is a swivel, you need some heat shrink tubing, and you need the lead, which comes in 1 pound or 5 pound rolls. And I made a video all about it, and here's the thumbnail. Go check it out if you want a more in-depth video about making those. But those are fast, they're easy, and they're cheap. And I've yet to lose one. Most of you guys have heard of drift sticks. They look like that. I go buy drift sticks when I need some dragon weights and I don't have time to make them. I also made a video on how to make drift sticks, and they turned out pretty cool, and they still rattle. But that sticker on there, well, it's seen better days, I'll tell you that right now. But still, that solid core lead is my favorite now because of the speed and the price. It's awesome. So let's sum up what we went over. Number 1, if you want to cover water and catch more fish, start dragging. And this video right here will help you with that if you have any questions. Number 2, remember to match your weight to your peg float. And this video right here will help you with that. Number 3, decide what material to use for your dragon weight, whether it's lead or whether it's steel, and decide if you're gonna make it solid or buoyant. Number 4, make your own weights or buy weights. Just remember to support your local businesses. Number 5, try different ways of making weights because you're going to fall into one way that you like best. Some of them take more time and that might be all right with you. Some of them's faster, some of them's cheaper. Just try different weights. That right there about wraps it up on dragon weights. Go over and check out my channel page because normally I do DIYs and I've got a long list of DIYs. And if you go look, you might find something you like. And if you do, click subscribe and ring the bell so that YouTube will notify you when I post videos and you can watch them. And as always, I appreciate you watching and I'll see you on the next build.